Sportsnet News Tonight.
Time to batter up and play ball, this time for real.
I'm excited to be back.
It's something that every player looks forward to.
Dome, sweet dome, the Jays open against the Yankees. Matsui! Some guys just can't seem to find any privacy. The doc is in the house, ready to throw bullets.
My main focus is making sure I'm healthy.
It's off to Jersey, but not everyone's making the trip. The Expos invade Atlanta and burn the Braves. Glavine, a Met, while Sosa chases 500, baseball is making all the news today.
From the Sportsnet Studios, here is Jim Van Horn.
Hey everybody, this is the early edition of the news for this Monday. Great to have you with us. Hope you had a fabulous weekend. Looks like the Ottawa Senators will have a new owner soon. More on that just a little bit later. But it is opening day in Major League Baseball, and that means it's cold as hell in Toronto. It's been snowing all day, and that's the way it's supposed to be. After all, that's the way it started with Doug Ault and the Jays way back in April of 1977. A 9-5 win over the Chicago White Sox. But oh my, how times have changed. There is so much to talk about with the Jays this season. Let's start by taking you live to Skydome, where Jody Vance is standing by. Jody, how you doing?
Jim, I think I've thawed out. The roof is obviously closed here at Skydome, and we're ready. The Toronto Blue Jays hosting their arch rivals, the New York Yankees, tonight in the regular season home opener here in the comfy confines of Skydome in downtown TO. We bring you full team coverage pregame here as we count down to the ceremonial first pitch from Saturday Night Live creator Lorne Michaels. Then the season officially opens at 7:05 Eastern Time right here on Rogers Sportsnet. Roy Halladay goes versus Roger Clemens, the student matched up against the idol. Over the next 30 minutes, we will bring you all of the storylines coming out of Skydome tonight. Up first, the players themselves with their thoughts on the opener.
It's a chance for us to show what we have, and obviously the Yankees, everybody knows who they have. But hopefully we can come out and just play solid baseball. I think that's what's the most important thing, and we'll never know what happens.
We had a great spring. We ended the season well last year. We come into spring training feeling good, and hopefully bring the same intensity from spring training and into this season.
I'm excited to be back. I had a good season last year. I just want to build off what I did, and hopefully we win more games this year and get to the playoffs.
Well, everyone's ready. I mean, it's something that every player looks forward to. You start of a new season, so everyone starts with a clean slate.
I think both teams are happy to get out of Florida and kind of get it started here and get on with the season. It's getting a little long down there.
Not without controversy, tonight's game has more than one subplot. For starters, baseball commissioner Bud Selig handed down the mandate that the Blue Jays must play God Bless America in the 7th inning stretch. We'll bring in Jays president and CEO Paul Godfrey live in just a moment to discuss that topic, among other things. But first, we check in on how the players feel about that move.
I think that's the correct thing to do. There's a lot of Americans here. And I think the decision that President Bush made directly affects Canada also. Canada is one of our best allies, so I think it's important for everyone to just stand behind his decision.
There's no substitute for freedom, and there's people out there putting their lives at risk in harm's way of trying to protect that freedom for all of us. So my thoughts and my prayers go out to those soldiers who are out there doing that.
We have all American players on our team, so I know we're going to support our troops over there. So I can't really speak for the Canadian people.
Well, I think it's nice. They've been doing it at Yankee Stadium last year, obviously after September 11th, so I'm glad that they're going to be playing it.
As promised, we are joined by Paul Godfrey. Paul, how did this decision to play God Bless America in the 7th inning stretch come down? It came from Bud Selig, but ultimately lays in your lap, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We explained to the commissioner's office that this is probably a no-win situation. If you play God Bless America, there's a chance that some fans may express their opposition to it. I hope not. I think most Torontonians are polite and respectful. And if you didn't play it, I think it would be viewed across the world as Canada snubbing the Americans again. I've always on the erred on the side of saying I'd rather be blamed for the things that I do. I concurred in having the God Bless America played because it's respectful. I think that you can't be wrong if you are respectful. The New York Yankees are a team representing a city that has went through a major tragedy a year and a half ago. And I think the fact that they went through that is still very fresh in our minds. The fact that they have American players in their dugout. We have American players in ours. Our manager, our general manager, all Americans. So it's a way of paying respect. And I think bottom line, respect is what won out.
Okay, here's the question for you. Is it just tonight, or is this an ongoing thing throughout the regular season?
Well, we haven't talked to Major League Baseball about that. They have talked about doing it on Sundays and on holidays, and of course September the 11th. The strange thing about it is that we've had God Bless America here numerous times in our park, and no one whispered a word about it. I wonder if people who oppose it would feel the same way after September the 11th this year if we are at home on the anniversary.
I'm sure nobody will be offended with the playing of God Bless America in the 7th inning stretch. I know there are a couple of Yankees that are a little bit upset about this one. We'll have more on this later on Sportsnet News. Paul, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Delighted.
Lots more to cover here. As mentioned off the top of the show, we have full team coverage. All of our Sportsnet reporters spread all over Skydome to take in the madness. They call it Matsui Madness. Time to bring in Jason Portwando from Field Level Live. Jay, help us understand the phenomenon that is Godzilla.
Well, Jody, let's just say a lot of eyes will be on number 55 tonight. You know, here in Toronto, we have a very large Asian community, arguably the biggest one here in Canada. About 3.5 weeks ago, when Chinese sensation Yao Ming was in town, there were 50 Asian reporters on hand that night. They're expecting even a bigger entourage tonight to watch the Japanese sensation known as Hideki Matsui.
Hideki Matsui!
So with the introduction out of the way, Matsui Mania officially hit Toronto, and with it, a parade of journalists. About 100 members of the Japanese media have been accredited for opening day, which is more than double the norm. Each step is closely followed. Each smile snapped, and every word analyzed.
He's a big star in Japan, as big as maybe Michael Jordan here in his prime. So, you know, we understand everybody want to see him in Japan, and, you know, we have to get whatever we have to get.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to say I'm used to it, then yeah, certainly I think I'm used to it. In terms of the number of the media coverage, I think it's about the same that it was in Japan.
It seems like he's handling everything great. I don't know what happens away from the field or what have you, but as far as on the field, he's got a pretty good routine that he sticks with.
Many fans from Japan have also traveled to Toronto to catch a glimpse of Matsui. And locally, hundreds of followers are cheering on the slugger.
I came here to see Matsui. I like his dynamic hitting.
He'll become the great major leaguer.
I think it means a lot to Japanese people, especially the baseball fans.
We try to have fun with it. You probably think it's silly, but people in Japan want to see every bit of him in Japan, so we are doing our best.
Now, the large following, Jody, isn't just from the media, it's also from the fans here at Skydome tonight, hoping to see one big swing from their hero, Hideki Matsui. And I can guarantee you, JV, if he hits one out, the crowd will go absolutely wild. And I do like the way Joe Torre has strategically placed him in the lineup, batting fifth, in behind cleanup hitter Bernie Williams. Jody?
Thank you, Jason. Yes, you know, the excitement is building as we inch closer to the opening pitch here at Skydome. We have lots more to come from here, but first, other news to cover up, of course, and for that, we get you back to the studio. Jim, over to you, partner.
All right, thank you very much, Jody. The anticipation is mounting. It is the Jays and the Yankees from Skydome. Player ceremonies get set to begin at approximately 6:52 Eastern, followed by the game. Rogers-Jays only on Sportsnet. And we'll get back to Skydome for more on the Jays opener after the break. But first, it has been a dream season for the Senators so far. Who knows what can happen if they can get by that first round of the playoffs. One of the big questions regarding the franchise is its future and what it holds. An answer may be on the way. As expected, Eugene Melnyk has made it official. He wants to buy the team and keep it in Ottawa. He submitted a formal offer today. The deadline for applications to the bankruptcy court is tomorrow.
I've been away for a couple of weeks now, and I've had a team of people that have been working very hard to try to put together a serious bid for the team. I want to do this for not only the city of Ottawa, but all Canadian hockey fans. And I've said it all along that I'm committed to that. I intend to do it, and I'm looking forward to, a very successful bid. I'm, kind of getting cautiously optimistic.
Coming up, Phil Housley skating, but when will the Leafs D-man be ready for game action? And we'll have more from Skydome, where the Doc's ready to operate It's all coming up.
This edition of Sportsnet News, brought to you by Canadian Tire. Let's get started.
This unforgettable day didn't start at the top of a hill.
Hey, Trevor, you want to go to Yardley Hill with us?
No, this bike won't make it.
It started with an idea
Hey, we'll see you later.
and a trip to Canadian Tire.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good, we're looking for a bike for our son.
The Schwinn has dual suspension and it'll handle any hill.
Funny how where you end up has a lot to do with where you start. Canadian Tire.
This year, Janice is getting help with her taxes a different way. She's using the Canada Customs and Revenue Agency website. It's the place to go for tax information, anytime, day or night. Find out how to file online, get forms, and even track your refund. Just visit ccra.gc.ca. Canada Customs and Revenue Agency, a message from the Government of Canada.
It's about time a few points got made about Home Building Center. We're Canada's largest home improvement retailer. No ifs, ands, or buts. Home has over 1,000 stores owned by independent dealers. We have competitive prices. We have lots of experienced people. We help you load up. And we back it up with our tough-as-nails service guarantee. Home Building Center. We've got your lumber.
This edition of Sportsnet News, brought to you by Blockbuster Video. Make it a Blockbuster night.
Ventura, fly ball center field. Vernon Wells chasing it back to the track. Wow! And makes a beauty. 3 putouts all to center field, including a gem.
Can Vernon Wells and the Jays make it 6 wins in a row in home openers? Toronto is 21-5 all-time at home openers, including 10 wins in their last 11 at home. Last year, Roy Halladay and the Jays beat Minnesota 7-2 in their home opener. We'll have the rest of the news of the day later in the show, but first let's get you back to Skydome, where the Jays play their home opener against the Yankees tonight on the net. Let's get more from Jody Vance. Jody, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Jim. Tonight's pitching matchup is a classic for so many reasons. Roy Doc Halladay has had an outstanding spring, and he hopes his 2003 season as the Jays ace can mirror it to a great extent. Tonight, the soft-spoken righty makes his first career opening day start, and it is versus his idol in Roger Clemens. Greg Ross joins us now live from the field with more on what this day means to this ace. Over to you, Greg.
Well, Jody, there is no question who the ace of this Blue Jays staff is. Roy Halladay worked himself into that #1 job with that impressive season last year. He had 19 wins and a .293 ERA, but Halladay is still honored to get the call on opening day.
I think it's a good honor for me. You know, it shows that they have confidence in me, you know, from the front office to the managing staff.
Life couldn't be better for Jays ace Roy Halladay, but it was just 2 short years ago he was at the opposite end of the spectrum. Halladay didn't make the trip north with the Jays for opening day 2001. Instead, the Jays left him in Florida to, in their words, rebuild his delivery in A-ball.
I felt good mechanically, but, you know, I just didn't have any movement on any of the pitches I was throwing. So we made some adjustments that gave me more movement, and I worked on the mental side of the game.
And the mental side of the game may have been the biggest obstacle for Halladay to overcome, and that's why he voluntarily sought the help of a sports psychologist.
I just don't think I had very much confidence. You know, you go out when you're a kid and you always pitch well, You know, the first time you have trouble, it's hard to deal with.
What Halladay learned that spring injected new life into his career.
2-2. He gets his first strikeout and a round of applause from Singleton.
You know, I really let a lot of big things kind of get in the way, so it was a matter of getting focused on the small things, one pitch at a time, and having confidence.
But the work didn't begin and end in the spring of 2001.
It's obviously going to be a continuation the rest of my career on working on these things. You know, there's so many parts of it and so many little things to try and remember that, you know, it's constantly reminding yourself of how those things work.
Well, this season should be a big test for Halladay. He'll have his work cut out for him trying to top his numbers from last season, but if the spring was any indication, this season should be just fine. That's it from down here on the field. Now let's send things back to Jody.
Thanks very much, Greg. Couple of opening day stats I want to share with you guys. As time ticks down, this is the earliest start to a Blue Jays regular season schedule. Also, after talking with Paul Godfrey, he is saying that the team is expecting 50,000 plus fans this evening. In other words, a sellout. But no question, Jim, Carlos Tosca's crew will have their work cut out for them tonight versus the powerhouse Yankees here at Skydome. That does it for us. Time to get you back to the Sportsnet studios. Jim.
All right, Jody, thanks very much. Great job. Enjoy the game tonight.
Thanks.
Jody Vance joining us live from the Skydome. Coming up next, did the Expos have their backs against the wall for the season opener in Atlanta? Highlights up next.
Closed captioning brought to you by Crown Royal. Raise the value of your bar with Crown Royal.
When you whack a Terry's chocolate orange, good things happen. Terry's chocolate orange, smashing great taste.
Every Easter in Europe, children love getting Milka little scoops. But now we've shipped them all to Canada, so your kids can enjoy our tasty milk chocolate eggs they can eat with a spoon. Milka, little scoops.
I wonder if he needs advice.
I wonder if he needs a mortgage. I wonder if he wants a holiday. I'm glad we've got it all in place.
At RBC Royal Bank, we value the wisdom of a mortgage that lets you live your life. It's why we customize your mortgage around your life.
Even in the beginning, we were building some of the most technologically advanced cars in the world.
We still are.
You can now enjoy Guinness anywhere. Authentic Guinness draft in a bottle.
Get your skis shined up, grab a stick of juicy fruit. The taste is gonna move ya. Take a sniff, pull it out. The taste is gonna move you when you pop it in your mouth. Juicy fruit is gonna move ya.
Sweet. Introducing new Juicy Fruit Red. Sweet.
This edition of Sportsnet News brought to you by Canadian Tire. Let's get started.
Welcome back. The Expos were in action this afternoon, opening on the road in Atlanta. Tony Armas Jr. got the ball for Montreal today. He was up against Greg Maddux, looking to improve his opening day record to a perfect 7-0. Maddux trying to remain undefeated on opening day. Top of the first, 2-0 Montreal. Orlando Cabrera takes Maddux deep, a 2-run shot, scores Brad Wilkerson to make it 4-0 Expos. Pick it up in the bottom of the sixth, 4-1 Montreal. Marcus Giles, line drive. Great catch by Cabrera, ends the inning with 2 on. Top of the seventh, runner on second. Chavez, great bunt. Vinny Castilla, wild toss to first. Mateo scores, 5-1 Expos. They go on to win it today by a count of 10-2. Cubs and Mets, Tom Glavin appearing in his first game as a member of New York, top of the first, 1-0 Cubs. 2 on. Moises Alou doubles off the wall. Alex Gonzalez and Sammy Sosa both come around to score. Cliff Floyd obviously misplays the ball. Alou winds up at third. Cubs up 3-0, top of the sixth. Now 7-2 Cubs with 2 on for Corey Patterson. He takes Mike Bassick deep to right. 3-run scores. Cubs lead at 10-2. They go on to win it 15-2 this afternoon. Indians and Orioles, third inning. Blizzard-like conditions greeted by the Indians and Orioles at Camden Yards. Game was eventually delayed for almost 15 minutes because of the snow before they finally got things underway, and we can tell you that they continue to play in the bad weather. It is tied at 4 in the 12th. To hockey, the Leafs will be in New Jersey tomorrow night to face the Devils. Both teams guaranteed of a playoff berth, but in different situations. The Devils are hitting their stride under Pat Burns. Toronto is still struggling with injuries. Shane Corson should be ready to go tomorrow night. Gary Roberts will not. Phil Housley will be looked at by doctors Thursday and hopes to get playing time on Saturday.
Not able to playing for 7 weeks is going to be a factor. I just got to focus on doing little things well and not trying to get caught out of position and you know, keep working hard off the ice for my conditioning.
I'm obviously going with the mindset that these 3 games, although obviously we'd like to win, for me, my main focus is making sure I'm healthy.
It's only 2.5 weeks right now, so it seems more to me, but it's not that far away either. It's another week and a half, and hopefully the next 10 days are very important with therapy and rehab, and hopefully I have the chance to get back out.
The NHL has laid down the law against the Red Wings and Blues for their parts in Saturday's brouhaha. Detroit assistant coach Joe Kocur has been suspended 2 games for pulling a WWE throwing a chair onto the ice, while the club has been fined $5,000. St. Louis coach Joel Quenneville has also been fined $5,000 as a result of the conduct of his team. The club itself has been fined an additional $25,000. That is it. You are completely up to date for now. Thank you very much for joining us. Blue Jays, Yankees season opener coming your way next from Skydome. We'll have complete highlights coming your way tonight at 10. Enjoy the ball game, everybody. We'll be back to do it all over again tomorrow.
Clothing provided by Grafton & Company. Fine menswear since 1853. Available in Richmond Hill at Hillcrest Shopping Center.
Finish off the season with a 7-game win streak.
It's game time, big baby.
5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
Guess who's back? Back again. Guess who's back? Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 Guess who's back?
Rogers, Jays on Sportsnet.
There are sure signs spring has arrived in Toronto. They've thrown open the gates of the ballpark. Yes, you need a scorecard to identify the new players. So grab yourself a snack. Get ready. The Yankees are in town. Welcome inside Skydome as the Toronto Blue Jays kick off the 2003 Major League season against the New York Yankees. Hi, everybody. Alongside my partner, John Cerruti, who's getting the opening day start. I'm Rob Full. It's a pleasure to be with you for Blue Jays baseball on Rogers Sportsnet. J.P. Ricciardi had a plan for this team. John, he went out and made some changes.
Yeah, this has become J.P. Ricciardi's team, who's very busy in the offseason. We have a lot of new faces with the Blue Jays this season. He added some pitching. The pitching is much improved. Tanyan Sturtz and Corey Lytle will provide a lot of innings. I love Frank Catalanano, a disciplined left-handed hitter, will bat in the number 2 spot in the order. pitcher. And Greg Myers returns to Toronto. He provides an experienced left-handed bat off the bench, something the Blue Jays have not had in the last few years.
What adds to the excitement of opening day? The New York Yankees. The big money Yankees are in town, and leading the way, Godzilla, Hideki Matsui.
George Steinbrenner spent $54 million on 2 players, this man and Jose Contreras. It increased the payroll to roughly $165 million. Matsui is the real deal. Joe Torre told me a couple of weeks ago he is a complete ball player. He does everything well.
I don't think you could ask for a better pitching matchup on this day one. Roger Clemens, a former Blue Jay, gets the start for the Yankees against the man who could be a future Cy Young winner in Roy Halladay, and what a season Roy had last year.
Yeah, and it's just the start of a great career for Roy Halladay. He's just 25 years of age. Look what he did last year. The 19 wins are no fluke. If I were going to start a team today, Roy Halladay would be my first choice for a starting pitcher.
You know, 15 years ago, you'd say that about Roger Clemens. Roy Halladay says it's important for the Blue Jays to watch Clemens because of what he does, and this is his 13th opening day start.
Yeah, you see where it ranks. I mean, he's on his way to the Hall of Fame. He's 7 wins shy of 300 wins, and the shape he's in, I saw in spring training, he may get that 300 win by the end of May.
The doctor, Roy Halladay, says he can learn a lot by watching Roger Clemens each and every time he hits the mound.
I think it's his hard work, his consistency, you know, the fact that he's an intimidating pitcher, has a good idea of how to pitch, and you know, he's just done it for so long and continues to get better. You know, you just don't really see him falling apart very often. So, you know, that's something that everybody would like to do.
So getting out of the gate is so very important for the Blue Jays. They send their ace to the mound against the man who's 7 wins away from getting 300 in his career. What do you think?
Well, it's a great matchup, and I've never been around a player that works as hard as Roger Clemens. We saw that in 97 and 98. I actually pitched with him back in the Red Sox organization briefly in 92. He works very hard. If there's anyone in the game that works as close to him, it's Roy Halladay.
Well, Halladay will be on display, looking to continue the success he had at the end of 2002, facing Roger Clemens and the New York Yankees. 2003, hope springs eternal for every Major League team, but especially for the Blue Jays. So let's meet this 2003 edition and go to the long-time in-stadium voice of the Jays, Murray Eldon, your Toronto Blue Jays.
And now, please welcome your 2003 Toronto Blue Jays. The equipment manager, Jeff Ross. Clubhouse manager, Kevin Malloy. Head trainer, Scott Shannon. Assistant trainer, George Poulos. Strength and conditioning coach, Donovan Santos. In the bullpen, batting practice pitcher, Jesus Figueroa. Batting practice pitcher, Mike Gray. In the bullpen catcher, Alex Andropoulos. In the bullpen coach, Bruce Walton. In the bullpen, pitching coach, Gil Patterson. The hitting coach, number 56, Mike Barnett. The first base coach, number 58, John Gibbons. The third base coach, number 55, Brian Butterfield. Left-handed pitcher, number 51, Trevor Miller. Right-handed pitcher, number 45, Kelvin Escobar. Right-handed pitcher, number 44, Aquilino Lopez. Left-handed pitcher, number 43, Mike Hendrickson. Right-handed pitcher, number 41, Pete Walker. Left-handed pitcher, number 39, Doug Creek. Right-handed pitcher, number 36, Bob File. Right-handed pitcher, number 33, Jeff Tam. Right-handed pitcher, number 31, Tanyan Sturts. Right-handed pitcher, number 30, Doug Linton. The catcher, number 28, Greg Myers. Right-handed pitcher, number 21, Corey Lytle. Right-handed pitcher, number 19, Cliff Police. Infielder, number 16, Mike Bordick. Outfielder, number 13, Jason Worth. Catcher, number 9, Tom Wilson. Infielder, number 2, Dave Bird. And now, the starting lineup for your 2003 Blue Jays, managed by number 14, Carlos Tosca. Batting first, the left fielder, number 24, Shannon Stewart. Batting second, the right fielder, number 27, Frank Catalanato. Batting third, the center fielder, number 10, Vernon Wells. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 25, Carlos Delgado. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 17, Josh Phelps. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 11, Eric Hinsky. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 3, Orlando Hudson. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 5, Chris Woodward. Batting ninth, the catcher, number 20, Ken Huckaby. Also in the bullpen, the starting pitcher for tonight's game for the Blue Jays, number 32, Roy Halladay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove your hats and join Sean Desmond in saying our national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Greater Toronto Area RCMP Color Guard. Please join me in welcoming a great Canadian singer who is nominated for 2 2003 Juno Awards and has scorched the charts with his smash hits, Get Ready and shook. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome BMG Canada recording artist Sean Desmond in the singing of the national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
BMG Canada recording artist Sean Desmond. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the third baseline for a very special presentation. On December 7th, 2001, J.P. Ricciardi acquired a third baseman from the Oakland Athletics who would become the everyday third baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays. J.P. Ricciardi had acquired a cornerstone for the future. With hustle, patience, and power, this young third baseman would go on to set Blue Jays records for rookies in runs, doubles, home runs, RBI, extra base hits, and total bases. He was named American League Rookie of the Year by Major League Baseball Players Association and the Sporting News. He was also named to the Topps Major League Rookie All-Star Team. For his outstanding accomplishments, please welcome Blue Jays Senior Vice President of Baseball Operations and General Manager J.P. Ricciardi as he presents a commemorative plaque to the 2002 American League Rookie of the Year, number 11, Eric Hideki.
The future of the franchise, Eric Hideki, Vernon Wells, Roy Halladay. The Jays are ready to go for 2003. Hideki on a special day, honored to be Rookie of the Year, and of course, bobblehead day. The Jays bounce into the season next.
Warning, do not attempt any of what you are about to see. Jackass, the movie, on DVD and video. If you loved it in theaters, you'll flip over the DVD because it's packed with 5 hours of extras, including 27 minutes you'd never see in theaters. Jackass, the movie. Buy it on DVD and video today.
Recognize this auto part? At Part Source, we've got it. We've got it, and we've got thousands of other brand name auto parts. That's not all. We got the auto parts professionals to help you find that part. And we'll give you the low price on this and all other auto parts. Part Source. The parts, the pros, the price. Probably guessed it by now. It's a hub assembly for an 87 Z24.
Mark Cullen here. A thick, healthy lawn means fewer weeds. In my experience, nothing beats CIL Super Golf Green for building thick, healthy turf. It's the slow-release nitrogen in every bag of CIL Super Golf Green that feeds my lawn continuously, keeping it greener longer. It's all I use on my lawn, and for good reason. CIL Golf Green Lawn Food and Grass Seed, the best choice for a thick, healthy lawn.
Sportsnet Live with Jamie Campbell.
Nice to have you on board tonight. I'm old enough to remember April 7th, 1977. There was no beer served at Exhibition Stadium. Ken Brett gave up 2 home runs to Doug Ault. The Jays won their first game ever. Where have the years gone? We're going to bring you up to date on games throughout the evening. We'll begin right now, in fact, with the Montreal Expos taking on Greg Maddux, who is undefeated on opening day. An afternoon affair. Down in Atlanta, there's Orlando Cabrera with a drive beyond the 380 sign. His first home run of the year brings in a pair. It's 4-0 Montreal with runners on the corners in the 6th. Marcus Giles with a line drive. Hello, Orlando. A lovely grab for Cole now with a single. Javi Lopez is coming home. Endy Chavez with the gun. Michael Barrett has the tag. Expos take the win 10-2. First time Mr. Maddux has ever lost on opening day. Tony Armas Jr. gets the W for Montreal. He was 0-4 against Atlanta last year. Let's talk about Lou Piniella. Why, oh why he would want to take over the Tampa Bay Devil Rays is beyond me, but he does. There's Manny Ramirez sneaking it through Aubrey Huff to score Todd Walker, ex of the Reds. He's in for a 1-0 Boston lead. There's Rocco Baldelli, minor league player of the year a year ago. They're counting on him in Tampa Bay to do some damage. His debut nets a double. Problem is, Pedro Martinez is on the mound for Boston, and he's looking good. So knows Ben Grieve. Martinez, at this point, has given up just 3 hits. He makes his 6th straight opening day start. He's 7-2 in 12 career starts against Tampa Bay. There's Randy Johnson. Fat new contract, 5-0 on opening day. It's Arizona and the Dodgers playing Jordan with a base hit that just drops in left. Sean Green coming home. He'll get down on his tummy and score. It's a 1-0 Dodger lead. Here's Jordan. Let's listen to Vin Scully.
Deep. Gonzalez going back, away back. It is gone.
Oh, the pipes of Vin Scully. Summer is almost here. A 2-run shot for Jordan. Dodgers lead 5-0 in the 7th as Mr. Johnson is getting hit around a little bit. You'll recall the Diamondbacks won the National League West last year, but were swept by St. Louis in the divisional series. Dusty Baker, well, he's looking like this. I like to show him again. Managing the Metropolitans. And Tom Glavine is playing for a team other than the Atlanta Braves. Imagine that. 2 men on. Moises Alou to left center. Will it go? No, but it is off the wall. 2 runs come in. And the Cubs lead 4-0. There's Kerry Wood. Let's hope he stays healthy. Oh, the breaking pitch on Joe McEwing. Nasty stuff in the 5th for the strikeout. Bases loaded. Mark Bellhorn. You knew this kid in Edmonton when he played for the Trappers. A fly ball that is lost in the sun. And that will clear the bases. Bellhorn in with a triple. The Cubs win 15-2. We'll have updates throughout the innings. Enjoy the baseball game. We get back to Rob and John at Skydome.
Welcome to Skydome in Toronto, home of the Blue Jays as they face the New York Yankees. Here's the lineup for the Yankees and manager Joe Torre, a team that won 103 games last season. They begin with Alfonso Soriano. Terrific top of the lineup. Derek Jeter, the shortstop. Jason Giambi's the first baseman. Hitting cleanup, Bernie Williams. Then Hideki Matsui. Godzilla. Jorge Posada's behind the plate. Robin Ventura at third. Raul Mondesi, the right fielder. Nick Johnson's the designated hitter. And they're facing the ace of the Blue Jays staff, Roy Halladay.
19-game winner last year. He led the American League in innings pitched. Great numbers. He finished very strong, was 4-0 in his last 4 starts in September. Had a great spring, and here he makes his first opening day start, the first of many, I believe.
Facing Alfonso Soriano, who hit 300, drove in 102 runs last year. Halladay delivers. Ground ball, first ball hitting. Up with it, the shortstop Woodward, and the 2003 season is underway.
Chris Woodward making his first opening day start. Here's the infield for Carlos Tosca and his Toronto Blue Jays. Up the middle, Woodward and Hudson. A lot of young talent right there. Hinsky and Delgado on the corners. In the outfielder, one addition. Frank Catalanato is in right field, joining Stewart and Wells.
Just 3 outfielders came north with the club out of spring training. Derek Jeter hitting .297. So .297 for Jeter last season, 18 homers, 75 runs batted in. And Jeter in the spring felt the wrath of George Steinbrenner. Fouls it back. George wants another world title, and he made it very clear in the spring to Joe Torre and everybody on the Yankees that that was the goal. Made some references to Derek Jeter and his off-hour activities. There for a strike inside.
Derek Jeter won a world championship with the Yankees in his rookie season in '96. He's been there frequently, but the Yankees have not been to the World Series the last 2 years.
Jeter fly ball right field on the run as Catalanato, the ball drops in. Off the wall. Jeter has a double.
That's what he does well, is go the other way. One of the best in the American League at inside outing the pitch to right field. He looks for the ball out over the plate. He slaps it into that right field corner. And this is what the Yankees do so well. They get on base. Last year they led the American League in on-base percentage. They were second in home runs, and consequently they scored a lot of runs.
And a runner in scoring position for Jason Giambi, who brought home 122 last year. Top 4 batters in the order drove in over 400 runs. Down low. The 1-0, 1-1 the count. Giambi liked what he saw from Blue Jays pitchers last season.
Yeah, a couple guys in this lineup hit a lot of home runs off of Blue Jay pitching last year. Giambi and Soriano with 7 each. A-Rod, I think he hit all 8 of those in one game, didn't he?
Ground ball up the middle. Woodward playing behind second makes the play. Advancing to third is Jeter.
Beautiful positioning by Woodward. This is something the coaches look at. They analyze the stats from last year. Giambi is a pull hitter, and you can see the shortstop playing right up the middle. Woodward's right there. Ball looked like it was going to hit it into center field once it got by Halladay. But it's an out, the second out. Jeter moves to third.
Bernie Williams, the batter. Another 100 RBI man for the Yankees. You see his numbers, 333. There is a belief that by some that he could have an even better year.
Yeah.
Providing he stays injury free.
Well, he was not 100% last year. He was bothered by both shoulders, soreness in both shoulders, a couple of older injuries that reoccurred. And consequently, his power numbers were down. Look at this cut fastball from Halladay. Right on the inside corner, actually breaking over the inside corner.
1-1 the count. Tried to work the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and a strike, 2 away. Jeter stands at third. Nine and 10, the Jays' record against the Yankees last season. Came inside but misses. 3-1.
That's the tight curveball. And just missed down and in. You see what he did in spring training. He did not allow a run in his first 16 innings of work. He was roughed up in his last start, which may be a good thing. A little bit of an eye-opener, a wake-up call for Roy.
The 3-1 puts Williams at first.
The Blue Jays faced the Yankees 3 times in the spring. Roy Halladay did not see New York. They purposely held him back from a start, and he made a minor league start when they played the Yankees.
Godzilla's in the building. Hideki Matsui, number 55. Those are his numbers last year in the Japanese league. Runners on the corners, 2 out. First ball hitting, it gets through the Yankees. Will score first. RBI single for Matsui, 1-0 New York.
That is typical Matsui. He likes to hit the ball the other way. His first home run in spring training was to left field. He jumps on the first pitch from Halladay and just drives it through the left side. And lit up those phones back to Japan.
There's a Japanese media watching intently. Over 100 accredited from Japan. Game is also being broadcast on NHK. Fly ball to right. Catalanato back and under it. That's all for the Yankees, but they do get a run, leave 2 aboard. Jays coming to the plate.
Rogers Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by General Motors and all its divisions. Visit us at gmcanada.com.
From a long line of the world's most dependable and longest-lasting full-size pickups, meet the new, redesigned Silverado. Chevy Silverado. It's ready when you are.
I've tried quitting on my own.
I'm kind of scared to fail.
Right after this pack. I've tried going around with a lollipop in my mouth.
It's the cravings.
I gotta quit smoking.
Quitting's never easy. That's why I recommend Nicoderm. Add Nicoderm to your willpower and you can double your chances of success.
I did it.
Nicoderm really helped.
It's been over a year now. I really did it.
Nicoderm, the patch most recommended by doctors and pharmacists. Available without prescription.
It's a can't-miss month of sports excitement on Rogers Sportsnet all April. Catch Blue Jays baseball action, including games against Jeter and the Yankees, and Garcia Parra and the Red Sox. Witness the drama as the NBA playoffs take center stage. Be sure to catch coverage of the NCAA basketball final. And join the Hockey Central team for an in-depth playoff preview Monday, April 7th. It's a can't-miss month of sports excitement all April, only on Rogers Sportsnet.
Bottom of the first inning. Let's introduce the Blue Jays. In fact, let's them introduce themselves.
Shannon Stewart, left field.
Frank Catalanato, right field.
Vernon Wells, center fielder. Carlos Delgado, first base.
Josh Phelps, designated hitter.
Eric Hinsky, third baseman.
Orlando Hudson, second baseman.
Chris Woodward, shortstop. Ken Huckaby, catcher.
Nicely done, gentlemen. They'll be very quickly. A man in scoring position for the Blue Jays. Dave Berg's hitting .500 to begin the season. That's an impressive number to have, but of course this is only game 5 of the campaign. He looks at a strike.
Normally Kenny Rogers is going to be pitching on the outside part of the plate, but when
the 1-2. Checks up inside. Crowd doesn't like it. 2 strikes.
You get that pitch a little bit later in the game. If you've been throwing strikes on both the inside and the outside part of the plate, the umpire will probably give you that pitch. But in the first inning, they're still trying to establish each other and establish that strike zone to feel each other out how they're going to work.
And they try to throw over. And Kenny Rogers is very used to packing.
Yes, and I think that's just kind of the way it is in the game of baseball today. 2 or 3 years with the club, and that's about it for the most part.
The 3-2 pitch to Wells. He takes it on the inside part of the plate for strike 3. The leadoff double and 2 strikeouts now for Rogers.
Well, now you see what makes Kenny Rogers so special and so tough to hit. Pitching inside and outside. That's the same pitch he did.
Carlos, ground ball that will get up the middle. Stewart getting the wave from Brian Butterfield. The Blue Jays will take a 1-0 lead on an RBI single by Carlos Delgado. Of the year.
It gets very frustrating for a pitcher. You come back, get a key strikeout, the number 3 hitter, and then all of a sudden give up that base hit. That sometimes that can put you in a tailspin.
Phelps takes inside for strike 2. And you talked about a bomb. This was a great one by Phelps. You can see right from the swing.
We got a breaking ball down in the zone. He stayed with it. And boy, he got the bottom half of that ball, put some backspin on it.
Rattled the football seats. Phelps takes down low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-0 the score with 2 away. Delgado standing at first.
Looks like the Jays have a very good approach towards Kenny Rogers now. They're all leaning out, looking for the ball away. They're going to try to make Kenny Rogers beat him inside. They don't think he has enough stuff to get in there on him.
Inside again. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Almost in a way you attack a Tom Glavine. He likes to work away, away, away. So as a right-handed hitter, you want to dive out there and try to take that outside pitch and make him beat you in. Pitchers don't want to beat hitters in for the most part. They want to stay away. He's got some great stuff. You're talking about a guy that's going to go out there and give you everything he's got. Fastball, slider. He's going to work on both sides of the plate.
And he deals a strike to Jock Jones, who is the leadoff man for the Twins. Jones hitting .267 this season. And very quickly, Roy is ahead 0-2.
That's going to be a big key for Roy tonight. To make sure he gets ahead of these guys and try to keep the ball on the ground. Try to induce a lot of ground balls.
Reaching out, Jones, a bouncer. Woodward makes the play. There's the first out.
Can do.
So Dave Berg, who struck out his first at bat, first inning, comes up with the bases loaded and 2 away. Jays are leading 1-0. Berg, ground ball. Guzman will come to first and make the play, and that will end the Blue Jays' threat.
Bats, but he was bothered by that lower back strain in spring training. But he told us 2 days ago, leaving camp, that he's healthy and ready to go.
Vernon Wells looks at a strike from home plate umpire Joe West. Vernon Wells loved playing against New York last season. 0-1 the count, 1 away, man on first. Takes inside.
You know, with the unbalanced schedule, the teams play each team within their division 19 times. And look at this, Wells with 20 RBIs, just 2 shy of what George Brett did in 1980. You remember in 1980 what he did when the Kansas City Royals won the East. I should say won the American League. That was the great Pine Tar incident that season.
Just saw that game again just before I left Florida. They had the Yankees-Kansas City game on. George did get a little intense. Crowd trying to rattle Roger Clemens. Interesting though, last year the record 13-6 for Roger. He was 4-5 on the road and a .629 earned run average.
He had troubles away from Yankee Stadium.
Vernon chops it straight down.
And I was thinking earlier today, a couple of future Hall of Famers got knocked around. Tom Glavine with the Mets was roughed up by the Cubs. And Maddox had a rough first inning. I believe 4 earned runs in the first inning for the Atlanta Braves. And of course, Roger Clemens on the way to the Hall of Fame as well.
That's not a Hall of Fame number on the road, though.
No. 5-5 record on the road, 6.29 ERA. And that is not Roger-like.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Catalinato at first with 1 away. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Roger's making his 46th start of his career against Toronto. His 17th as an opponent here at Skydome. His numbers actually aren't that good as an opponent here at Skydome. Overall, they're excellent because of what he did in his Cy Young years here in 97-98.
Skying this one. Wells, it will drift out of play behind the Yankees dugout. Great crowd on hand at Skydome for this home opener. With the Yankees in town, you know you have a great contingent from New York, and Yankee fans, oh, they come from everywhere. And of course, there are a lot of Matsui fans. Two balls, 2 strikes. Wells goes down swinging.
We see what Roger has done career at Skydome. And look at with Toronto, he made 38 starts in those 2 years, a 22-8 record, an ERA just over 2. But as I said, a 5-5 record with Boston and New York here at Skydome, facing the Blue Jays. This last pitch, a fastball right down the middle. That's the type of pitch that Vernon Wells will have a little trouble with. The good heater, about 95 miles an hour that time from Clemens.
Carlos Delgado. Numbers from last season, another 100 RBI campaign, 33 home runs. Swing chopping it down. Joe West calling time very quickly.
He swung at that pitch, tried to check the swing. He dropped the bat immediately. A lot of times a power hitter, someone with the strength of Delgado, will check their swing and actually can hurt their wrist. See him flinch a little bit and drop the bat. Posada did a nice job of blocking that ball and keeping Catalinato at first base.
Has had success against Clemens. Outside. I asked Carlos before the game about his first opening day. I still remember. He was watching, of course, all the media here from both North America and Japan. 94, my family was here. Got my first major league hit, my first major league home run.
That was the year he got off to an unbelievable start in April. Hit 9 home runs in the month of April back in '94. Then the opposition made some adjustments. He struggled. Actually went back to the minor leagues for a bit. I look for Carlos to have a big year. I said this during the spring, but I just feel he's rejuvenated. He's healthy. He had knee surgery in the offseason on his left knee. He corrected that mechanical fault in his stance midseason last year, and it really didn't come to fruition until September, after he came back off the disabled list when he had the lower back strain. He's not wearing the brace like he did last year. He's running a little bit better.
The 3-1. Ball 4. Patient at bat for Carlos Delgado, and a man who walked a great deal last year adds 1 for 2003.
Yeah, he's averaged over 100 walks the last few years, and that's impressive from a power hitter, being able to lay off that pitch. Pushes Catalinato into scoring position, and Josh Phelps had some game last year against Roger here at Skydome. Went 2 for 3 with 2 bombs off of Roger, 1 into the 5th deck.
Well, guess what? He doesn't get bombed, he gets plumped.
How about that?
Oh, and a little look by Phelps to number 22.
Well, and this goes back to last year. First pitch, fastball, first and second, 2 outs. I don't care, right in the back. A little message from Roger.
Bases loaded after the hit batsman. This is one of the reasons Roger may have held a grudge. This is a 500 level blast.
Just inside that foul pole, way up.
And the rookie of the year for 2002, Eric Hinsky, steps in.
That's Roger. He's an intimidator on that mound. He comes to battle.
Bases loaded. 1-1.
And Rob, just to go back to last year in that home run, Josh Phelps did not show him up, did not show the Yankees up. He just trotted around the bases. It was his second home run that night. But this is Roger Clemens, and he sent a message.
Hinsky was 222, 2 for 9 against Clemens last season.
Devastating split-fingered fastball. He is still a power pitcher, throws 95 miles an hour with a fastball, and then has that splitter about 15 miles an hour slower to complement the heater.
The 1-2. There for a strike with the bases loaded. Hinsky goes down looking. That's all for the Blue Jays as Roger closes it out. 1 inning done. Yankees lead 1-0.
Recognize these hands? They're the hands of someone as into cars as you are. A part source professional. A real pro who can help you select the brand name auto part your job requires and advise you on exactly how to install it. The hands of someone with hands-on experience. Look a little closer. You'll even see some grease under the fingernails. Part Source. The parts, the pros, the price.
Get 750 regular season games with MLB Extra Innings. That's up to 35 out-of-market games per week. Or get even more sports with the Super Sports Pack. The most sports, only on Canada's most advanced digital network.
Hey, Dad.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
What's that?
Oatmeal crisp. You wouldn't like it.
Looks good.
Nah. I mean, look at it. That's oatmeal. I mean, what up with that? Right? And all these chunks of apple. That's a bizarre combination.
Oatmeal crisp. Sure, it's good for you, and it's truly delicious, but you won't like it. Does it have sugar?
Yeah, but it's brown. That's not good, son.
This year, Janice is getting help with her taxes a different way. She's using the Canada Customs and Revenue Agency website. It's the place to go for tax information. Anytime, day or night. Find out how to file online, get forms, and even track your refund. Just visit ccra.gc.ca. Canada Customs and Revenue Agency. A message from the Government of Canada.
Top of the second inning, Yankees lead 1-0. Roy Halladay facing Robin Ventura starts him out with a strike. Ventura, Mondesi, and Johnson due up in the bottom of the second. Despite facing 6 batters, Halladay only threw 15 pitches in the first inning.
Yeah, uncharacteristically, the Yankees swung at a lot of first pitches in that first inning.
Fouling it back, Robin Ventura, 93 runs batted in.
And I say that only because in the last 6 years, the Yankees have seen more pitches than any other team in baseball. Although last year they got away from that somewhat.
Roy Halladay, the opening day starter, but he says he is living a dream right now.
I think being a starting pitcher is a childhood dream, and you know, it's nice to be the opening day starter, but you know, my goal has always been to be a starting pitcher, and you know, after opening day, I pitch every 5th day like everyone else. So, you know, it's an honor, but at the same time, I'd be happy to be the 5th starter also.
And plunk to a former teammate. Roy hits Raul Mondesi.
Well, this is how the game is played. His man got hit, his DH, and that's the way you're going to do it. If you're going to hit somebody, you hit it right in the back. You throw it right at their belt. They're not going to get hurt there. Mondesi with a little glare out to Halladay, his former teammate. Mondesi understands, Halladay understands, and the Yankees dugout understands.
Nick Johnson, big swing. Johnson will also get some time at first base to spell off Jason Giambi, and you see the sign. The doctor is in from 7 to 9:45. Ground ball. Delgado turns, goes to second for one on the first in time. The 3-6-1 double play. That's all for the Yankees in the second.
Closed captioning brought to you by Tim Hortons Roll Up the Rim to Win. With 30 Buick Rendezvous and millions of other prizes available, it's no wonder the whole country's on a roll.
Get 750 regular season games with MLB Extra Innings. That's up to 35 out-of-market games per week. Or get even more sports with the Super Sports Pack. The most sports, only on Canada's most advanced digital network.
People say I'm a lot of fun at parties, but I don't know when to leave. That's why I love it here at Boston Pizza, because it's open late, so I never have to leave. You feel the atmosphere? Who wants to dance? Take that as a no. Look at the food. Isn't it great? I don't know you people, but I've decided to stay with you. I may leave in an hour or two. Your name? I'm Howie. I'm doing a commercial. You're in it.
Late night at Boston Pizza. Order from our full menu until closing.
Boston Pizza, open late. I'm staying.
Up late? You're among friends at Boston Pizza.
We like watching grass grow at Weedman. We're committed to being the most trustworthy name in lawn care. You can enter to win in the Weedman Cash Sweepstakes for your backyard makeover. Details in the gardening news or by calling your local Weedman dealer. Weedman, trust the professionals.
You have to have defense.
I love this. Halladay hit Mondesi, put him on first, and then he gets the ground ball. Nice turn, good feed from Delgado. Woodward with the quick feed back to Halladay. They knew they had time with Nick Johnson running. And how about that? I mentioned the message that Clemens sent to the Blue Jays plunking Josh Phelps in the first inning. Roy Halladay just sent a message to his teammates. He said, I'm not going to stand for that. That's the way the game's played. He hit Mondesi, and then he backs it up by getting out of the inning.
Bottom of the second. Hudson, Woodward, and Huckaby against Clemens. The Yankees lead 1-0. Perhaps the liveliest member of the 2003 Blue Jays, Orlando Hudson, comes to the plate. His average last season was .276, but here's a man who came into spring and had a terrific spring.
And that's the reason he's in the number 7 spot. Coming into camp, Carlos Tasca was talking about batting Orlando Hudson 9th to provide some speed in front of Shannon Stewart.
Ground ball. Jeter, that's automatic. Roger Clemens comes into this season with 293 wins. He is the active win leader, looking for 7 for 300.
Well, Maddox and Glavine each lost today. And Roger 7 away, and I believe Tom Seaver is on that list at 311. I think he has that in mind. He would need, it's at 18 wins this year.
It's the right team for him to be on, though.
Yeah, former teammate of his. Remember, Tom Seaver pitched with the Red Sox. when Roger was in Boston. And you got to believe Roger is thinking of staying healthy and going out with a big year.
0-2 the count. Woodward under. Posada throws away the mask and hauls it in. The second out. Let's join Jamie Campbell for an update from Sportsnet Live.
Rob, an update from Tampa Bay, down by 3, and Terry Shumpert off Alan Embry, who'd come in from the Boston bullpen. A drive to left with none out, a 2-run home run. Tampa now trails by 1, none out in the 9th.
And now Ken Huckaby, the number 9 man in the order. And this was a great season for Ken Huckaby. His first chance to come north with a team. Hit 245 with the Blue Jays. Reaches out chasing a Clemens pitch. He reaches out and waves at it. Another strikeout for Clemens. Down goes Huckaby. That's 2 in the books, and the Yankees lead the Blue Jays 1-0.
Hey, Dad.
Nothing at all.
What's that?
Oatmeal crisp. You wouldn't like it.
Looks good.
Nah, I mean, look at it. That's oatmeal. I mean, what up with that? Right? And all these chunks of apple. That's a bizarre combination.
Oatmeal crisp. Sure, it's good for you, and it's truly delicious, but you won't like it. Does it have sugar?
Yeah, but it's brown. That's not good, son.
Come on, Woody. Come on, pal. Wake up. Come on, Woody. It's okay, Skip. One off the head. Come on, buddy. Call 341-1234.
Hey, Dad.
Nothing at all.
What's that?
Oatmeal crisp. You wouldn't like it.
Looks good.
Nah, I mean, look at it. That's oatmeal. I mean, what up with that? Right? And all these chunks of apple. That's a bizarre combination.
Oatmeal crisp. Sure, it's good for you, and it's truly delicious, but you won't like it. Does it have sugar?
Yeah, but it's brown. That's not good, son.
Welcome back to Skydome in Toronto with John Cerruti. I'm Rob Faulds, and the man in the middle is a Canadian and a Torontonian, and the man who threw out the opening pitch, Lorne Michaels of Saturday Night. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, great to see you. You look pretty good there, huh?
You're used to live
Thrilled
TV.
to be here, and
Very
I'm
comfortable, huh?
happy that by the television I'm more comfortable with than pitching.
Did you practice?
I practiced a little, you know.
Opportunity to come home to see the Blue Jays enjoying this?
Yeah, very much. It was thrilling.
Alfonso Soriano, Derek Jeter, and Jason Giambi to face Halladay in the top of the 3rd. Soriano, a notorious first ball hitter. He did that in the first, grounding out to short. And takes a strike this time. Now, with all your work being in New York, is there kind of a split loyalty here? I know you spoke to David Wells. You know.
I think it's possible to like two teams very much.
Fly ball into right. Catalanato chases it down.
Nice pass.
Now you've had Boomer on your show after
Yeah.
you pitched the perfect game.
Well, Derek Jeter was host. Boomer and Dave Cohn came on playing Yankee Wives.
Former Blue Jays too.
Yeah.
I just want to add that.
Exactly. It's a very small world.
Did you play any baseball when you?
I did when I was growing up. Yeah.
Where'd you play?
Just here. You know. I mean, nothing.
Just little league?
Nothing memorable.
No. Derek Jeter takes a strike.
How about some of your favorite baseball skits on the show?
Well,
any that jump out?
I'm trying to think. George Steinbrenner hosted years ago, and Billy Martin hosted.
I don't remember that.
No, it's not a well-documented show, but he was Like 1985-86, in one of those periods when he had just come back to the Yankees, he hosted. And I must say, he had great stories.
There's the 0-2 pitch to Jeter. Checks his swing. How difficult is it for athletes to come in and do your show? How nervous are these? Are guys perform before 40, 50,000?
Some of my favorite hosts have been athletes, simply because they're used to appearing in front of large groups of people and not knowing how it turns out.
Inside, ball 2.
They're also used to following direction.
Well, what do you think about Boomer and his book and the ruckus he stirred this spring?
Well, you know, I think. I think you're. And I've spent quite a. There he is. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time with him, and I've never seen him ever be out of control, or he always seems to know what he's doing, and loves the game too much to be.
Full count.
He still doesn't have a filter, though, on that mouth, right?
Yeah, no.
I've known him since he was 18, and he never had one.
No. 3-2 sails.
He's funny,
outside. Second walk issued by Halladay. Now, I have it on good authority. Your son made you nervous before the opening pitch. What did he do to you?
Hilarious. When Jim Bloom called me to ask me if I would do it, and which my heart leapt at, I had dinner with my son after hockey practice, and he said, "Dad, you can't bounce it." I thought, Henry, I mean, why? So of course he planted the seed of doubt immediately, which led to
be positive.
I'm happy.
Be positive.
Exactly, I'm happy I'm here.
Jason
that part's
Giambi.
over.
1 out, man on first. Giambi grounded out to short, and the shift is on. A lot of infielders on that right side. Lots of room down third base. Look at that gap. Inside. Well, what do you think of your Yankees and your Blue Jays this year?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
It was thrilling being in the Blue Jays dugout, and Monday is opening day for the Yankees in New York, and I'd like to be there for that too.
So. With 3-0 now.
Lauren, what are your impressions of this Sky Dome? It's been here, you've been here, but...
Yeah, I've seen a few games here. I like being here. I grew up with the Toronto Maple Leafs baseball team, which used to play down at the bottom of Bathurst in the International League. And opening day, which I would often cut school for, could be very cold. Mm-hmm. It could be cold.
Yeah, it's nice being indoors tonight.
Yeah, but those were great games.
On the run is Jeter. Ground ball. Halladay will make the throw, and Jeter gets greedy going for third. No, not in time, but all over him is Huckaby. Jeter may be hurt. And they got him as Jeter came off the bag.
Insult to injury. They called him out when he left the bag. That was almost like a tackle by Huckaby running into his right arm, and that is cause for concern for Torrey and the Yankees.
Huckaby went racing down the third base line when Jeter went for third, knowing that the shift was on. And Huckaby came in on top of him.
Derek Jeter is one of the best base runners in all of baseball. He knew that third base was vacant. Huckaby gets there a little bit late. Initially, he's safe. But look at the collision. The shin guard of Huckaby meeting the upper body of Jeter.
Left shoulder, it looks like, John.
Yeah, there's that left. Oh boy, right in the left shoulder. Aye.
Left shin guard, left shoulder. Safe, and then off the bag, and on third is Paul Emily makes the call, but the big call is on the health of this man. It's the only play the Jays had when they realized Jeter heads up was going for third.
It's a double play to end the inning.
That ends the third. Lauren, thank you for joining us. Lauren Michaels of Saturday Night Live. All the best to you. And we spare no expense. Here's the Rogers Blue Jays pin for you. Lovely parting gift for a guest host.
Derek's better.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Lauren. Bye.
It's not just the 0% purchase financing. Or it's not just the drive away without paying lease with no first payment, no security deposit on select models. For a limited time, nearly every 2003 GM model comes with a little something extra. Air conditioning. It's GM's Cool Wheels Hot Deals. The air conditioning's on us, or get equivalent credit up to $1,000, only at your GM dealer.
Hey, Dad. Nothing. Nothing at all.
What's that?
Oatmeal crisp. You wouldn't like it.
Looks good.
Nah. I mean, look at it. That's oatmeal. What up with that? Right? And all these chunks of apple. That's a bizarre combination.
Oatmeal crisp. Sure, it's good for you, and it's truly delicious, but you won't like it. Does it have sugar?
Yeah, but it's brown. That's not good, son.
Call 341-1234.
Pretty intense, isn't it?
For in-your-face home theater action, come to Best Buy. From Sony Plasma TVs to Bose Surround Sound, we'll help find the system that's right for you. Get into the action at Best Buy.
An update from Sportsnet Live in San Diego. The Giants in town, bottom of sixth. Ryan Klesko with a double to right field scores. Mark Kotze, that chased Kirk Reeder from the game. It's a 2-2. Let's get back and find out how Mr. Jeter's doing.
At Skydome in Toronto, fans still waiting to see the situation with Derek Jeter. It was an inning-ending double play with a heads-up play by Ken Huckaby when he realized with the shift on that there was nobody at third. Jeter with a heads-up running play, John, was trying to go first to third. Huckaby and Jeter collided. It was the left shin guard of Huckaby that ran into the left shoulder of Jeter, and he is still down.
And he ran into him like a middle linebacker tackling a running back coming around the end. This is not something you feel good about, but Ken Huckaby did everything he wanted to do. There's a heads-up play. Huckaby coming up the line. He doesn't even realize where the runner is at that point. He's reaching for the ball, and then he takes Jeter off the bag, and he's eventually called out, showing the umpire the ball. But you can see the immediate pain that Jeter is in holding that left shoulder, and he is still on the ground. That is the one thing that coaches and managers don't like to see, the danger of a runner going head first into a bag. So many more injuries can occur to the fingers, the thumb, the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder. And that's not his throwing shoulder, it's his left shoulder, but that's his lead shoulder when he bats. And
two doctors on the field, Dr. Aaron Boynton and Dr. Ron Taylor, both there as consulting to make sure. Aaron Boynton is the doctor leaning over, and then Ron Taylor in the blue jacket in behind as they watch Derek Jeter being addressed and looked at by the trainers. Scott Shannon was out quickly to help. George Poulos is there, Blue Jays trainer. And Scott Shannon has run down the left field line through the outfield fence as they still attend to Derek Jeter. They could be getting the cart to take Derek Jeter off for a further look. We'll come back with more from Skydome in Toronto on opening day.
Get 750 regular season games with MLB Extra Innings. That's up to 35 out-of-market games per week. Or get even more sports with the Super Sports Pack. The most sports, only on Canada's most advanced digital network.
When you use ordinary grass seed, you're taking a big chance. Because with some brands, you could get thousands of weed seeds growing in your lawn. Luckily, one brand guarantees the highest count of grass seed possible. That's Scott's Pure Premium Grass Seed, because it's 99.99% weed-free. For a thick green lawn, go with a sure thing. Scott's Pure Premium Grass Seed, and get more lawn in every bag.
Who did your taxes? Were they done right? Jason Lake, Anthony Chan, and Sarah Cole took the free H&R Block Double Check Challenge. They got more back. Bring in your past returns and we'll double check them free.
I wonder what Cheryl's up to tonight. Well, after Saturday's brownie baking fiasco, she probably just thinks I'm an idiot.
Introducing new Haagen-Dazs Extras. Vanilla, caramel, brownie.
Now this, ice cream with brownies. Maybe I should give her a call.
The doctors are still attending to Derek Jeter on the field at Sky Dome, so we'll bring you an update on what went down in Tampa tonight. Boston Red Sox took a 4-1 lead into the ninth, and then this happens. A 4-3 advantage for Boston, 2 out. Carl Crawford with a 2-run shot to right field off Chad Fox, and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays storm all the way back to win it by a count of 6-4. Fox gets the loss. We go back to Sky Dome. Rob?
Thank you, Jamie. They are still watching Derek Jeter, waiting for a cart to help him off. Doctors Aaron Boynton and Ron Taylor are in attendance. And here's another look at what happened on the play on a ground ball by Giambi.
This is good baseball on both ends. First by the Blue Jays. Carlos Delgado realizes that Jeter is on his way to third base, and he leads Huckaby. This is a very heads-up play. He throws right to the bag, and you can see Huckaby just comes into the picture. He reaches for the ball. Jeter's actually safe, but then the collision, the left shin guard of Huckaby hitting the left shoulder of Jeter.
And just like a catcher, he's coming down to block the bag as if he was blocking home plate. But his left shoulder is hit by Huckaby's left shin guard. And with the force of Huckaby coming down the line, here's the golf cart and the backboard. They'll put Jeter on that.
This is serious. This is the last thing that Joe Torre wanted to see. There's been so much talk this spring about the health of the starting rotation and the age of the rotation and the bullpen. That's the biggest question mark for the Yankees. He didn't even want to think about losing really his key player for any extended time.
Dr. Taylor helping Jeter to the golf cart to be escorted off, and there's Ken Huckaby, and you know this is probably ripping him.
Well,
but
you feel bad. You just don't like to see it, but he did the right thing. I mean, he made a very good play. Of course, nothing was intentional, but he's a physical guy. He's a catcher. He has that equipment on. It's really actually one time that a catcher gets a chance to get some momentum. Usually he's taking the brunt of collisions at the plate with the runner running hard.
Jeter heads down the left field line, left shoulder. It is the left side, and we'll wait for the word from the doctors on Derek Jeter. You see him wince in obvious pain.
He's a man that has played, averaged over 150 games a year. He's always in there, wants to play every day. Well, we've had a holdup, but now Roger Clemens and the Yankees are ready to go as we begin the bottom of the third inning. Blue Jays trailing 1-0 here at Sky Dome.
Enrique Wilson will come in to replace the injured Jeter. So Wilson, because of injury, comes in the third. Top of the order for the Blue Jays. They trail by a run. Stewart, Catalinato, and Wells to face Clemens, who stayed loose while the doctors and trainers were attending to Jeter. Through the order recap right now. Foul out for Stewart, single for Catalinato, and a strikeout for Wells. Hit by a pitch was Phelps. Hinsky struck out with the bases loaded.
We have had some excitement, Rob, in the first 2.5 innings of play here tonight. A couple of batters hit intentionally. Of course, the collision, Jeter leaving the ball game.
Yankees with 1 run on 2 hits. Jays have 1 hit. So the Yankees hold on to the lead heading into the bottom of the third. Clemens against the top of the Jays order and will face Shannon Stewart. He popped up in foul territory to Giambi. How does a delay like that, John, affect a starting pitcher? I noticed that Roger kept trying to get some soft toss in. And
well, he's been around long enough that it's not going to bother him.
Stewart straight away center field. On the run is Bernie Williams. Back he goes to the track and makes the catch.
Usually you don't mind a delay as a starting pitcher as long as you're not on the mound. Usually the delays come when your team scores a lot of runs, and that's something you welcome. In this case, Roger, as you saw, was overstanding with concern as they attended to Derek Jeter.
12-minute delay. Jeter was attended. Here's Catalinato. Fly ball. Foul down the right field line.
That's just what Frank will do. His first time up, he singled to the left side, but then he will look for pitches inside, and when he gets them, he'll turn on them. Out in front of that splitter.
0-2 the count. 1 away in the bottom of the third. Yes, says Joe West. Another strikeout. Strikeout number 4 for Clemens.
His best pitch he got the first time, or the first pitch of the at-bat, wasn't able to keep it fair, and then he gets 2 nasty split-fingered fastballs, and he did go on that swing, ball tumbling down and away from Catalinato.
Vernon Wells is the batter.
What you try to do against Roger Clemens is jump on that first fastball that you see in the strike zone, because you know you're going to get that devastating split-fingered fastball late in the count. Now, Vernon Wells is a very good low ball hitter. He showed last year that he handled the off-speed pitch, the breaking ball, well. And I said in his first at bat, the one problem he has is with the hard thrower, he has a tendency to chase the fastball up.
2-0 pitch, 2 away. Swing and a miss, 2-1. Now the count is Clemens misses. Now is this where he uses the splitter? Or just a
well, he can do either with Vernon. He struck him out the first time with a good fastball. He threw that 2-0 fastball by him.
Ground ball. Wilson deep in the hole. 1 bounce, 2. Got him! Very close play. And it's a 1-2-3 third. Now look at the umpire, Jeff Kellogg. What do you think? 1 bounce, 2.
He's out.
Good call by Jeff Kellogg. That's all for the Jays in the third. Enrique Wilson likes it.
I wonder if he needs advice.
I wonder if he needs a mortgage.
I wonder if he wants a holiday.
I'm glad we've got it all in place.
At RBC Royal Bank, we value the wisdom of a mortgage that lets you live your life. It's why we customize your mortgage around your life.
Isn't it?
For in-your-face home theater action, come to Best Buy. From Sony Plasma TVs to Bose Surround Sound, we'll help find the system that's right for you. Get into the action at Best Buy.
Who did your taxes? Were they done right? Jason Lake, Anthony Chan, and Sarah Cole took the free H&R Block Double Check Challenge and got more back. Bring in your past returns and we'll double check them free.
NHL Eastern Division races are heating up. Tampa Bay needs a win in Boston to keep control of the Southeast. A Philly win in the Steel City gives them hope of catching New Jersey in the Atlantic. Those stories tonight on Sportsnet News.
More action for the Blue Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. We'll have tomorrow afternoon's game as Andy Pettit faces Corey Lytle. 3:30 Eastern Time, 12:30 Pacific. The Yankees and the Jays. Top of four at Skydome, Williams, Matsui, and Posada to face Roy Halladay. The Yankees leading 1-0. Williams chops it down. I'm going to have to check to see whether or not the Earth is rotating the opposite way on its axis. Maddox beaten up, Glavine beaten up, and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays beat the Boston Red Sox on a walk-off home run. What's going on?
Crawford. Opening day. I'm sure someone told Roger Clemens that Glavine was knocked around and Maddox was knocked around today. I think two fellow Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers. And Roger is on his game tonight. After hitting Josh Phelps in the first inning, he's retired 7 in a row, 3 on strikeouts. And now it's up to Roy Halladay to keep the Yankees at bay and keep this a 1-run ball game.
Double plays in the second and third helped out Halladay and the Blue Jays. Williams ground ball backhanded by Hudson.
A nice play there by Orlando Hudson. He worked very hard in spring training, took a lot of ground balls, worked closely with Brian Butterfield, third base coach and infield coach for the Blue Jays. The one problem he has defensively is going to his right, backhanding the ball. He made that look nice.
Therefore, strike to Matsui, who had an RBI single in the first, but the only Yankees run. Halladay comes inside. You can see Huckaby try to frame it, and of course everybody at attention for the at-bat of this man.
Now, first at bat, he jumped on the first pitch. Base hit through the left side. It went the other way. Here, he's looked at 3 pitches. He is a very disciplined hitter. Very short, compact swing. He does have power to all fields. He only struck out 4 times during spring training. Joe Torre told me a couple of weeks ago he only saw him swing and miss twice.
Hopper, Delgado will lead Halladay, who makes the step and gets the Japanese star. 28-year-old comes over to North America, and he's handled the media crush with great grace. But look at his numbers in Japan.
Yeah, he is the biggest player to come out of Japan. He's been the biggest player in Japan, 3-time MVP. Look, it's already 332 home runs in that league. He is bigger than Ichiro. I mean, Ichiro made a big splash a couple of years ago with the Seattle Mariners, but this man, he has been used to the spotlight for a number of years.
2 away, Jorge Posada flied out to right, his first at bat.
Matsui already, I don't know if you knew this, already has his own museum